Hello there, fire friends. I hope you're doing excellent today. Thank you for joining me for another group session. So if you're Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, these messages will be for you. Now, friends, if you haven't been to a group session before, all good. Just know that not all messages are going to resonate, and that's totally fine. Some of the messages may come across vice versa, but please take the messages as they resonate for you. If you need a private session, check me out at my website, kellyfergusonreadings.com. Of course, if you like these sessions, please don't forget to support me so I can keep supporting you. Whether this is liking, sharing, or just watching, I am so happy that you're here. Thank you for joining my readings. So, fire friends, there's a new year just around the corner, and I think it's there's a lot of clarity that needs to come forward because so many people are not sure about what their focus should be, what they should be working on, etc., and what this next year is going to look like. So, let's take a look at that. All right, fire signs, overall energies for the new year ahead. Overall energies for the new year ahead for my beautiful fire friends. Oh, here it is. Ooh, okay. Communicating freely. That's a nice card. Now, communicating freely can mean all sorts of different things. Now, what it says down here is, I communicate from the depths of my being, okay? And if we're looking at this visually, we're talking lovely communication, not nastiness, of course, right? Now, fire signs, some of you are usually quick to the jump, right? We kind of say what we want first and then ask questions later, okay? But that doesn't have to mean that. This is just personality. It doesn't mean that all fire signs are like this. But this is you coming clear about what you want, standing up for yourself, not being afraid to either call a spade or say things how you want them, because when you're clear about what you want and you're clear with others about what you want, you clear the path to kind of align yourself with good stuff for you instead of hashing over the negative stuff, right? Or revisiting the negative stuff. So, okay. Really interesting card there. Let's see what comes out in terms of more detail for you, fire signs. So, this is where we're starting. These cards are already flipping. Okay. Yup. Nice. Okay. All right. Yeah, definitely fire signs. There's some stuff coming up here. Okay. I really feel that at the beginning of the year, you're going to be really putting down some new tracks and moving forward in like firm new steps for yourself. I feel like you already see the forest through the trees and you're making steps to align yourself with you feeling good. Okay. We also have some energies coming up that was either about fighting, old belief systems. There could be some heartbreak involved, etc. But I also see that by the end of the year, all of this really comes clear for you, okay? I feel that you're really kind of letting go of the old nonsense, the old stuff that's running through your head, and really just literally letting it go. So there's cool stuff here. Let's take a look. First one, current situation for you, okay? Or maybe the focus with the new year too. The Knight of Wands. This is fresh new energy of taking charge and moving forward in a serious way for you to either grasp the new opportunities and things that you want, but it's also kind of putting your feet down on the ground and saying the buck stops here, okay? I want to do things like this. This is going to be best for me, so therefore I'm going in this direction. Whether you want to join me or not is totally up to you, but there's change management in this, okay? There's evolutionary change here for you as well in terms of like the current objective. You don't want to stay in the same old place talking about the same old stuff, you know, same old problems, blah, blah, blah. You're like over and done with this and you're like, okay, new path for me because this is old news and it ain't getting me anywhere anyways. No one's listening to that old sob story. You're so over it, fire signs, okay? Your talents and skills, check it out, great card. 8 of Swords in reverse. The problems that you thought weren't able to be solved, or where you didn't see the forest through the trees, or you couldn't figure out how to solve a problem, all of that's long gone, okay? This tells me that you do see the truth of the situation, possibly with having to either communicate freely or, you know, really lay down the law about what your expectations are for yourself, what you, you know, your boundaries, what you will allow, what you will not allow, not being nasty about it, but being graceful about it. We can disagree without fighting and throwing emotional bombs into a situation, right? And this is you being real with yourself and knowing that the ways that I was trying to solve these issues in the past just simply weren't working. So for me to change the situation involves me making some changes and going in a different direction. Why? Because you want to feel good. You want to be happy, okay? So pitfalls and challenges, okay? When you're dealing with old patterns of either miscommunication or people not being honest, it makes it difficult to be happy because there's this underlying energy of like upsetness or trying to bring out the truth, etc. But this is telling me you're beyond that. You don't need to see the truth. You don't need to have someone else come full circle and give you this validation, although it would be nice. This is about you being happy anyways, fire signs. And this is a choice, okay? You can choose to feel sorry for yourself and, you know, talk about old stories and stuff like that, but it really doesn't bring you anything new, okay? This is about you taking love, self-love with both hands and really embracing this. Sometimes it takes a little bit of evolution to get there, okay? It doesn't happen overnight, but when you choose you and you choose to love yourself and you choose happy energy for yourself all day, every day, then it will follow, okay? But those steps need to be made by you first. You can't rely necessarily on other people to help get you to where you want to be. Some people don't want to do that work. Some people don't want you to do the work, okay? You do the work. Everything else will follow, okay? Now, support, all right? You're gonna have to go off in a whole new way by yourself, okay? Where do you get support? The devil? Not really, okay? But there is a story here. What this is telling you, and this came out for a couple of people in the readings this week, when you know what you don't want, it helps really clarify what you do want. So those old habits, those old people who are saying, do it like this because it's right, do it like this because it's right. You're a bad person if you don't do it like this. You're not a good person if you do it like that. Why won't you do it like this? Don't you think you should blah, blah, blah? No, okay? Support. What kind of support are you looking for? Support to keep you down in the mud? No, there isn't real support here. The support that comes from this type of energy is energy that doesn't want to move forward. It's dense, heavy, negative energy. That's not going to help propel you into change. It's going to keep you chained up, in fact, okay? So, know what you don't want. Know what didn't work in the past. That way you can say goodbye to it and start with new, fresh tracks, my friends. Really important. You're going to be cutting out some bad habits, some either people that don't support you, whatever that looks like for you, okay? It is absolutely time to let all that go. And when you don't look for support in areas that don't want to support you, you realign yourself with your own personal strength, right? Don't be afraid to say no. Say no, fire signs, okay? So, potential. This is really important as well. 5 of Swords. If you don't put up boundaries, if you don't say no to the old stuff that you know that isn't working, you're going to continue to get the stuff that isn't working. Fire signs, pay attention, right? So you want to fight? It can be available to you. You want drama? It's available. Just say the word. But are you going to be a part of the fight or are you going to walk away from the fight? Instability is stable here with these individuals, okay? So be open and honest with yourself. Put down firm boundaries so that you're not beating up old tracks, right? No, okay? So your inner strength, healing yourself, okay? There has been some drama and some trauma for you in the past here with these old systems, okay? But this is about you being honest with yourself and saying, okay, I can't change the past, but I'm also not gonna go back and sit in that yucky energy either. I see it for what it is, I feel it, and now I heal it, okay? Getting over it and not going back to think about it, to remember it, to run it over in your head. You know, sometimes people do that. They look at a situation, they're like, man, I wish I would have said this. I wish I would have done this. What would have happened if I said this? It's irrelevant at this point because it's history. It doesn't exist anymore, okay? The only place that it's existing is in your own emotional memory. So stop reading yourself that story. It's no good. It doesn't end nicely. Be done with it. Be done, okay? That is where your real inner strength comes from. Seeing the patterns and saying goodbye to them and starting afresh, okay? Now, what's gonna help with your progress? Ace of Swords. Don't you have new ideas that you want to do? Don't you have new exciting ventures that you want to create, that you want to build, that you want to see grow? This is where your focus is, not in the past, in the future, with evolution. Be honest with yourself in terms of what is the momentum that's going to carry you forward. Whether this means for you a new relationship, a new work thing, a new job, new social structures, whatever that's going to look like, even if it's just kicking old habits that have tied you up in the past. This is about you seeing the forest through the trees, seeing that light and being focused on staying in alignment with the light so that you can get what you want. Don't put your energy, like like I said, don't put your energy into past stories. It doesn't matter anymore. Same thing here, fire signs. The force that you will become, you're not sitting in the drama anymore. In fact, you're not even interested in it. You're not scratching the surface. You know, sometimes when, you know, maybe you have a relationship that ends, and so therefore you're like every now and then checking up on this person in social media. What are they doing? What are they up to? You know, do they have a new person? Do they not have a new person, right? This tells me you don't even care anymore. And this is amazing, fire signs, okay? You are really releasing the drama from the mind. And when it goes from the mind and you're clearing and not tripping up over this all anymore, you're not even looking at it anymore. And then when this kind of energy comes calling, it's like, what was that? Doesn't even faze me anymore. That's exactly where you need to be, realigning yourself with your strength. And when you communicate freely, again, about your boundaries and all of that stuff, you create them. And then if people don't respect them, you're already aligning yourself with what's right for you, okay? Check it out. The outcome, 8 of Cups. Beautiful. You moving onwards and upwards, not casting shade on the past drama and trauma. Again, it's irrelevant, but you leaving that well enough alone because you've communicated what your boundaries are, and you literally moving to higher ground, okay? See this eclipse? It's about really letting go of these negative things, seeing them for what they are, and choosing something better, okay? There might be love involved in the past algorithms, whether it's people, whether it's the job that you loved, whatever it is, but it also wasn't working, okay? So it's time to refine, it's time to reevaluate, it's time to be clear with yourself and clear with others about what you want and what you don't want, and you actively moving in the direction of what you want and what is gonna feel good for you. Fire signs, this is lovely. I see that at the beginning, you're like, you get it, you have this epiphany of what's right for you. Then there's some straggling energy, but you realign yourself and you know and start walking in the direction for you. This is definitely going to be an evolutionary year for you of saying goodbye to crap and saying hello to peace. Fire signs, I'm looking forward to this year. If you need a private session, please check me out at my website, kellyfergusonreadings.com. And of course, join me next week for your next group reading, Fire Friends.